loft at Morialta Barns. So nice. I'm like spewing like I'm only here for the one night. So day 47 was Cudlee Creek Caravan Park to Morialta Barns. It was meant to be a pretty long day, like about 30 k's or so. And because I knew I had like beautiful accommodation here, I wanted to get in at a reasonable time so that I could like actually enjoy it for a little while. Yeah, packed up my gear and got out of there. So I was heading out. I walked the little road, like the detour to the caravan park, and then by the time I got to that turn and back on the trail, it was 8 o'clock. So I thought, yeah, that's not too bad. I was walking along this little road past houses for a little while. Eventually ended up back into one of the forest reserves. I'm not sure which one though. It's not actually written on the map. I have a feeling it was still Mount Crawford though, but I don't know. But yeah, eventually walked past the actual camp that I was meant to be at the night before. It just looked kind of cramped and damp and not flat. So yeah, I thought, oh well, I'm glad I went to the caravan park instead. The whole morning it felt like it was spent walking up. And then once I got like properly into the forest reserve, then it was sort of up down along the fire track things in there. I had a stile to cross, so I crossed it, and then I thought, like I'd sort of been snacking all morning because, like I said, I knew it was like a pretty big day, and so I wanted to try and keep some energy up. So I had a cheese stick, like that was my first little snack, not long after I started. Then I had some cashews, and then after I got over this stile, I thought I'll have some. It was about 10:30, 11ish, I think. So yeah, I thought I'll have some beef jerky. So yeah, used the stile as a seat and sat there for a while and had my jerky. And then I sort of headed down, which I didn't really want to, because looking around me there was nothing but like high hills. So I thought, if I'm not following a creek all the way out of here, which I doubt I will be, I'm gonna have to climb up these hills eventually. But before I did that, I did follow along this creek for a while. So walking along pretty nice track with just the sound of running water next to me. That was quite nice. Yeah, when I got to my turn and looked up at it, I was like, okay, here we go. So nothing nice and gentle about it, just straight up one of the hills. Man, it was steep. I started my hill climb, and it was so steep for so long, I actually ended up having to like walk backwards for a bit just to give my calves a break. When I eventually got to the top, I thought, alright, I'm stopping for a rest and maybe a feed. It was an early lunch, but I thought, no, I'm stopping for a break anyway. So yeah, did that. It feels like I just did another Mount Arden. Like that was an insane hill climb. So it's 11:45 and I'm stopping for some lunch. I had this guy pass me, and at the time I was walking up backwards just to give my calves a rest. So yeah, had a bit of a laugh because I said, well, he said he saw me and he wasn't sure if I was in front of him and already passed him or something, but I was just walking backwards. But yeah, like my calves just needed a rest from being stretched for so long, so badly. Early lunch and electrolyte drink, I think. While I stopped, I had a look at the map and worked out what section that was, and it was called Montague Heights. Came out of that section and onto a bit of a windy bitumen road. Walked along there for a little bit. Cyclist rode past me and I thought, look at us, now we're both pests to traffic. The trail kind of crossed and kind of like went up on its own little trail next to the road, which was good, so that got me off the road. And then where that came out, it came out to like a bit of a fork, so a dirt road went around to the right and a dirt track went to the left. And when I come out, there were arrows that were kind of pointing in the middle and a sign saying walkers follow track. So I'm like, even that like just didn't feel right. So I'm like, do you mean track or do you mean road? So I checked far out. I started walking down the road and then my arrow on far out moved away from the trail. So I come back up and then I started following the track. And then I went through this open gate and then I realised, and I'm looking at far out, realising I'm moving away from the trail again on the other side. And then I realised I was sort of coming into someone's like yard. So I turned back around and then I kind of looked up a bit and up into the scrub. It looked like there might have been a really old track heading up there, but it was like overgrown now, and that's where far out would have had me go. I started to go up there, but I was pretty much just like bushwhacking, so I thought, no, I'm not doing this. So I come back down and I started following around on the road again, and so my arrow was moving off the trail on far out, so I put that away. I thought, whatever, I'm just going to keep walking along this road for a little while and hopefully, maybe eventually, I don't know, far out might correct itself or I might see a marker or something. And so yeah, I was wandering down this dirt road for a little while and it was kind of going downhill as well, so I'm thinking, oh god, like please actually be the trail because I don't want to have to walk all the way back up this. But eventually, like I don't know, 500-700 meters, something like that, I did come to a trail marker. So I thought, okay, cool, so I am on the trail, I'm meant to be on here, I'm just going to ignore far out for a while because it still had me off the trail and didn't know where I was. But yeah, like, so that junction really needed a arrow pointing more to the right and walkers follow road. That would have made it nice and clear. But anyway, I followed that dirt road for a little while and then eventually come to the end of it, and that's where I climbed into Morialta Conservation Park, which I was kind of keen for because I thought, okay, cool, like in here I should actually get put on like proper walking trails, and yeah, it'll be like, you know, more my kind of walking, so I was super keen. The first trail that we're on in there wasn't great. It was like a fire track really, and it was pretty rocky and sandy in sections, which made it a bit harder to walk through. But walking along there, I looked through the trees and saw like Adelaide, pretty much the outskirts of Adelaide, like a heap of houses, and I was like, oh crap, like I forgot I'm like that close to civilization, like it's scary. And then sort of out of nowhere to the left was like this little bit of a trail to an amazing view, like a rocky platform view of Adelaide and the CBD and everything. There was a guy there enjoying a cup of tea. I think he'd been there for a little while already. So we got talking, and he said that he's up there all the time and has never seen it so clear. So yeah, I was feeling a little privileged. Got a couple of photos, got him to take a photo of me, took some snaps and said goodbye, and back on the trail again. And then not too far down from that, I had to turn right, and then I was on like an actual like little narrow trail. And that was cool, following that down, because it was, yeah, like a proper little trail. But then on my right was just like CBD and Adelaide, and yeah, you're so high up. It looked pretty cool. And yeah, as I was coming down, I could like hear waterfalls, and I knew I was passing a couple on that trail. I got down to, I think it was Third Falls, headed to the viewing platform for that one. That was pretty cool. So all along that trail, pretty much, like whenever I had a bit of downhill, I was like practically jogging, because I knew time was getting on a bit. So yeah, I was trying to sort of hurry along a little bit. Climbed up and out, crossed a stile onto another bitumen road, and then I just followed that around, and I wasn't too sure like what I was looking for. I was just hoping, because Morialta Barns isn't on far out, so I was just hoping that they would have a sign or something. I'd heard that the trail pretty much runs through the property, which it does, so I'm thinking, oh well, surely like they'll have a sign, like surely I'll know when I'm there. And yeah, they did. From the road you have a turning marker, and there's actually a sign, a street sign, and a sign on their gate, Morialta Barns. So yeah, come through the gate and started walking up their driveway, and got a glimpse of the buildings, what I assume must have been old barns. Yeah, they were lovely. The hosts, the owners, whoever they are, yeah, they were lovely. They must have seen me coming up, and as I was getting a bit closer, they were sort of walking out down to greet me, I guess, with their cute little black, I'm gonna say border collie maybe, but yeah, they were really nice. And I think his name's Steve. He then escorted me to the loft here, which is just beautiful. Like, so I always feel like such a feral when I come into like nice places like this, and I felt so bad. He's like, you know, directing me in and showing me in, and I'm like, oh, like, where's your mat? And I've got to get these shoes off, and Well, this is my beautiful home for the night. It's the loft at Morialta Barns. So I've got full brekkie stuff. So cute. So cute. DVDs to watch. And there are horses out there. Ah, here they are. So cute. Yeah. Don't know what that's about, but anyway. bathroom. And I actually have a laundry. Oh my god. So yeah, guess what I'm about to do? Have a shower and get all my clothes in the wash. Yeah, settled me in, unfortunately, because it was Monday. Norton Summit Pub was closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, so no drink and pub meal for me last night, and nothing for me walking past this morning, but oh well. I'm hoping to maybe get a bite to eat or something at Mount Lofty. See how I feel when I get there. They left like all of the breakfast things, so I'm gonna finish this up and then I'm gonna cook myself some bacon and eggs. So yeah, I think today will be about 20 k's. Yesterday I think ended up being about 28, but I'm not in a great rush. Don't really want to leave this beautiful place, and yeah, gonna take advantage of the breakfast items in there. Today I've got Mount Lofty and then heading to Woodhouse Activity Centre, where I should hopefully have another resupply waiting for me. See how that goes. So stay tuned. See you later.